Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of October. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the recent 2019 MSBA Annual Conference, where nearly 1,200 school board members and administrators gathered to learn the latest on issues having an impact on their local school districts and to improve their leadership skills. Attendees had the opportunity to participate in more than 120 breakout sessions and workshops presented mostly by leaders from school districts throughout the state. Among the keynote speakers at the event was best-selling author, social entrepreneur, and decorated combat veteran Wes Moore, who thanked school board members for choosing to serve children.
And I am grateful for the fact that there are people who are willing to line up with my wife and I and say, we will fight for your children as if they were ours. That means something to me as a parent. That you're willing to stand in the gap even when you don't have to. That you're willing to understand the realization that you every day are fighting for kids, many of whom you will never even meet them. Many of whom you'll never even know their names. But you fight every day for the hope of them. You fight every day for their pathways, as if they were your own. And that's meaningful.
Standing in the gap, by the way, has been the theme this year for MSBA's president, Rhonda Gilstrap of the Blue Springs Board of Education. Among his many accomplishments, Wes Moore is the Chief Executive Officer of the Robin Hood Foundation, one of the nation's largest foundations aimed at alleviating poverty.
We have a very clear focus with our organization that we will fight for and we will serve for children and families who are coming up in poverty and create real pathways for sustainable economic mobility. And the thing that I'm very clear about is quantitatively and historically, there's never been anything that's been able to show a long-term sustainable economic mobility for a family like increases in educational assets. Nothing.
Moore told school board members and administrators attending the conference their advocacy for children is real and meaningful. Also speaking at this year's annual conference was Governor Mike Parson, who challenged board members and administrators to work with him to figure out ways to do a better job of paying teachers adequately.
But we have to do something with the funding situation for the teachers in this state. There is no way the direction Missouri is headed right now, with the economic development engine that we have in this state, with the workforce development pieces we got, we cannot keep and to expect to perform when we're paying our teachers 48th in the nation in this state, when we're starting to move up the ladder and other things. If we don't do a better job in that, there will be consequences to that, and that's just a fact.
Parson added, every community in Missouri should have the ability to offer voluntary early childhood education programs. Missouri's 2020 Teacher of the Year is Melissa Grandel, an English language arts teacher at Fordland High School near Springfield. She told an audience at the annual conference, Missouri has outstanding teachers, but many feel overwhelmed and frustrated that they are not doing enough for their students who struggle to break the cycle of poverty.
I ask you to support your teachers, and I know that you do, but I'm asking you to support your teachers, to talk to them, to encourage them, to find them and listen to them. Find out what they need and what they believe. Teachers are a school's best resource, but so often they feel isolated and underappreciated. And I ask you to make them part of the conversation, and I'm certain that you will be glad that you did.
Grandel will serve as Missouri's representative in the National Teacher of the Year program. The MSBA Delegate Assembly met during the annual conference to vote on the position statements that will form the basis of MSBA's advocacy work in the coming year. Among the new position statements approved by delegates are statements calling for funding to allow local school districts to identify and address safety and security concerns, and for increased accountability for charter schools. Every school board belonging to MSBA is eligible to send at least one voting delegate to MSBA's Delegate Assembly. One of the highlights of this year's annual conference was the Student Showcase, where students from 22 school districts were on hand to demonstrate skills gained through innovative programs offered in their districts. School board members and administrators had the opportunity to meet with the students and have them explain the unique programs offered by their school districts. The MSBA Annual Conference, in cooperation with the Missouri Association of School Administrators, is on the move. MSBA President Rhonda Gilstrap announced at this year's event the decision by the MSBA Board of Directors to move the 2020 Annual Conference from the Lake of the Ozarks to Kansas City. The 2020 Annual Conference will be held from September 24th to 27th. You'll be receiving more information about the new location of the annual conference in the coming weeks. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.